Hey, happy day 70 of our 90-day challenge. BP challenge for me, blood pressure reduction challenge for me, health, lifestyle, business, whatever challenge for you. It's a 90-day push. We're going through the process to get whatever you want in days, not years. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma. Today we're going to talk about what I call the 7 keys. I'm sure other people describe these things and talk about them in different ways, but I like to think of them as keys, unlocking the doors to my life, the life that I want, the life that I really want, in terms of how I define success for me. And the first process, the first part of that is knowing, well, what are the 7 different keys or areas of my life that I need to consider? We'll talk a bit more in detail about each of these going forward over the next 10 days. This is our block of what are these 7 keys, how do they impact us, what do we need to do about them, how can I make sure that I've got each of them handled. We'll talk about balance and priorities and how we make everything in our life work, even though sometimes it feels like one area or another area of our life is out of control. If we have the rest of the areas in control, it's not long before the one that's giving us a challenge will be brought back into control. So what are these 7 keys? The first one is physical. The second one is mental. The third one is emotional. The fourth one is financial. The fifth one is spiritual. The sixth one is contribution. And the 7th one is relationships. And like I said, people break these down into different categories. They decide how they're going to define them, and we'll do that throughout this process, the next 10 days. And we will set intentions for each one of these areas. And the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to take each one of these areas. I just listed them off in no particular order: physical, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual, contribution, relationships. I just listed them off. But your assignment today, your challenge today, is to think about each of these areas of your life and write them down in priority order. So if your spiritual well-being is number 1 to you, if God is number 1 to you, then spiritual is probably number 1. And then you rank all the rest of them below that down to number 7. If your physical health and well-being, which used to be about 7 for me personally, it's now 1 or 2. It's got to be right at the top, because I learned by personal experience, because of the experiences I've had, that taking care of myself can't be number 7. It's got to be a bit higher priority, or I make decisions and choices based on that it's just not important. If it's not important, then it's one of the last things that I do. So today, consider the 7 areas. Just write down in order, rank them 1 through 7. What is currently, just this minute, the most important to you to the least important to you, because that is your priority order. I will admit that my ranking of these has changed throughout the course of my life. When I was younger and had kids, little kids that needed a lot of attention, family was number 1. It just was number 1 or number 2. We tend to get a little distorted, which is why we're going to spend this whole segment talking about these things and how they impact the 90-day push, the 90-day goal, the goal that we're working toward achieving. And chances are, I'm going to share my opinions and my thoughts about balancing, hustling, and things like that, and the impact that they have on us overall. But today, the 7 things, I'll say them one more time: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, contribution, and relationships. Rank those in the order of current importance to you. Just put a date on the top of it and just rank them. Just write each one in the order of importance to you. Don't be surprised if you scribble some out and move them around. That's part of the exercise, and it's intentional. It's not a big thing to do, but it's really, really important. So stop what you're doing and do that right now. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, contribution, and relationships. Write them. What's your current level of importance for each of these? Rank them, and we will do something interesting with this tomorrow. Have an awesome day, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Keep moving, doing the things that you've committed to doing throughout the challenge so far. Keep doing those on the frequency that you committed to doing them. Me, water every day. I'm already through 5 glasses of water today. So that was my one from yesterday, was to make sure I'm getting my 8 glasses of water. Not coffee, not tea, not hot chocolate, not hot cider, water. And then all the other things. Guess what? When I drink more water, I drink less coffee, which lowers my blood pressure. Win, win, win. That's what we're setting ourselves up for. We're setting ourselves up for winning throughout this whole process, and we're making it automatic, which we're going to talk about in the last 10 days. Automatic, making things automatic and systematizing them so that our winning and our success is guaranteed. But in order to guarantee that, we want to rank and put priorities on what's important so that we make sure we are guaranteeing how we define success. That's it. Have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, if you have questions about this or can't remember, I'll write them all in the comments. I'll write the 7 things in the comments so that you can go ahead and rank them. And